From the 1011 Now streaming studio, this is The Night Beat.
Sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors of Lincoln.
Good evening, I'm Jessica Blum with your headlines for Friday, December 5th. First, the latest on the decision to cut 4 programs in the University of Nebraska's Board of Regents' attempt to cut into a $27.5 million budget deficit. The colleges of Earth and Atmospheric Sciences, Statistics, Education Administration, and Textiles, Merchandising, and Fashion Design have been cut from the University of Nebraska in an effort to close the budget gap facing the university. Since September 12, students, staff, and faculty at UNL have been vocal in their opposition, and Friday they pled their case for the final time in front of Nebraska Board of Regents. More than 100 people showed up to speak directly to the regents today. After almost 6 hours of public testimony, the regents and Chancellor Rodney Bennett began openly discussing the cuts, which total $27.5 million. They voted overwhelmingly to eliminate those 4 departments. As Bennett and the regents talked, those in the audience scoffed at some of Bennett's comments, including his assertion that he is confident in the data they used to determine the cuts. An independent financial analysis by the American Association of University Professors showed the instructional budget for UNL only accounts for about 20% of the overall budget, but 70% of the proposed cuts. Those speaking Friday reiterating how cutting these programs will undoubtedly contribute to brain drain and a loss of respect for the institution on a massive scale.
The UNL administration has produced no serious evidence that they considered these issues in the proposed budget cuts, and their statements about UNL being able to retain sufficient expertise in geology and atmospheric sciences without EAS are misleading at best.
Regent Barbara Weitz asked Bennett if they could take more time to make these decisions, to which Bennett urged them to act immediately to close the deficit. Student Regent Drew Leasy said he would vote no on eliminating the Earth and Atmospheric Science program after a failed motion to table that vote until February's meeting. The regents ultimately voting 9-3 to eliminate the department. Unfortunately, even professors in departments not directly impacted by cuts today say they are worried about their future and the universities.
As my colleagues and I watch the potential elimination of faculty positions, many of us, especially my colleagues who are and non-tenure track, feel unsafe in our roles. We're worried for a future that has less support and more responsibility.
For his part, President Gold said when he took over, he was given a mandate from the regents, legislature, and the governor to make sure the university, quote, lives within their means. More reaction to this news is up on our website. In Husker-related headlines tonight, Nebraska running back Emmett Johnson has declared for the NFL draft. The Husker making the announcement on social media Friday afternoon on his decision to go pro, thanking his coaches, teammates, and Nebraska's passionate fan base. Most notably, Johnson praised offensive coordinator Dana Holgorsen, who he says changed the trajectory of his career. Johnson rushed for 1,451 yards this season, and he ranks second nationally in yards from scrimmage. This news comes just a day after Johnson was named the Big Ten's running back of the year. Now to an update on some breaking news we first brought to you Thursday. Police are now saying a Lincoln man has shot and killed his own brother and accidentally hurt a bystander at a Casey's gas station yesterday morning. 23-year-old Emmanuel Greenwald Claypool was arrested on suspicion of second-degree murder, use of a firearm to commit a felony, and second-degree assault. Officers were called to the Casey's near 13th and E Streets just after 11 a.m. yesterday on the report that multiple shots were fired inside the gas station. Authorities say surveillance video shows Greenwald Claypool arrive at the store while working as a delivery driver. LPD added 24-year-old Jarrell Wheeler was leaving the store at the time. Police say video shows Wheeler coming back inside, left and came back inside again, running toward Greenwald Claypool with his arm raised. Police say when Wheeler ran toward him, Greenwald Claypool reached for a gun in his waistband and shot Wheeler multiple times. At the scene, officers found 2 victims with gunshot wounds. Wheeler was taken to a local hospital where he later died.
These 2 are brothers, and there's obviously a history between them, and so that was some of what we worked through yesterday, was trying to determine that, because there was information initially that there was a disturbance outside and that kind of thing, and so we just had to work through those details. But as far as in the store, there was really no argument.
A 30-year-old 38-year-old man was also hit twice. He has since been released from the hospital. Police say Greenwalt Claypool stayed on scene, gave them his gun, and is cooperating with the investigation. The store will stay closed while investigators work through their investigation. In other crime news tonight, a man was arrested after allegedly stabbing a 19-year-old at a downtown parking garage Thursday night. 34-year-old Michelangelo Newell was arrested on suspicion of second-degree assault and use of a deadly weapon to commit a felony. Just after 10 o'clock last night, officers went to a parking garage near North 11th and Q Streets on the report that a man had been stabbed. The victim told police that he had seen Newell in the lobby of a nearby apartment complex as they were leaving. Police say Newell yelled at them and then made a stabbing motion with an unknown object, cutting the victim's shoulder. Out on the road Friday morning, one car flipped and was eventually totaled after hitting two other vehicles at a South Lincoln intersection this morning. First responders went to a three-car crash at the intersection of Old Cheney Road and Nebraska Parkway just after 9. Police say the driver of a Chevy Tahoe was going eastbound and ran a red light, hitting two other cars. One person was taken to the hospital with minor injuries. Saturday night is the annual Christmas tree lighting event at the Capitol building. However, this year there will be a big change on who can attend the decades-long occasion. This year's Capitol tree lighting will be a private event. Governor Jim Pillen was behind the decision to allow only state lawmakers and their families to attend, and for each lawmaker, 8 tickets for their constituents to come. We reached out to the governor's office on why this decision was made. A spokesperson for the governor telling us it's due to security concerns. Last year's tree lighting saw a number of protesters who showed up with signs that read "Free Palestine," among other related messages. But Senator Danielle Conrad says the security has not been an issue and the event should stay open to the public.
Every single aspect of this special event is paid for with public resources. It's in a public space. So to broadly exclude the public from public festivities, I think is just misguided and disappointing and wrong.
Senator Conrad says she wasn't told if this was a temporary or permanent change. She encourages those who disagree to reach out to Governor Pillen's office with their concerns. Finally tonight, and rounding out your night beat, is a check of the 7-day forecast. We do get colder over this weekend with a chance mainly for rain in and around the Lincoln area and a better chance for accumulating snow up in far northeastern Nebraska before things get colder on Sunday. Temperatures will rebound, though, nicely, especially looking early next week with the 50s by Tuesday.
You've been listening to The Night Beat.
Sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors of Lincoln.
Watch, listen, and stream on the 1011 app on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.